And for the scroll, you see it got lost a little bit, so what you could do is just retrace the line a little bit. We can always also do for this step is add little details. For example, the bandage line of the hand, or some patterns here, ancient scripture pattern that you could just doodle along the way. And because we added these little detail rim to the bag, so you might want to go back and just touch up a little bit on the details. Anatomy for the kneecap. You see how before I made a mistake here and I said don't worry about the line before? You can always just fix it up at this step again. And add some trim to the shoes. And I think this is pretty much complete. And sometimes I go probably a little bit more detail in terms of touching up the lines, depending on how finished, what type of look that I'm going for. But for this lesson, just as demonstration, I'm pretty sure by now you have a pretty good idea of what this process is. And here we go. We have a pretty complete picture right here. And there's a few little things that I want to go over. Now that you have the character in this group, you realize that because this is masked, you could just go and change it to whatever background color you want. And whatever background you see fit. And whatever color you decide, remember now you could put a shadow to this character. The character is hitting from this direction. I mentioned probably in every lesson it's good to plant your character somewhere. And just select the shadow area, set as multiply, and just choose a shade of gray or whatever color you choose. You might want to give a little bit of shape to it. But this character, as you can see, is basically done. Let's see if there's any little part that I want to add. Nope, not really. So this is how I do cel shading. But before we finish this lesson, I want to give you a little bit bonus in the benefit of cel shading on customizing the character. And this is what I do at work a lot of times. And you see how there's a base layer. This is basically where the color layer is. And remember I mentioned about when we do the lasso, we turn off the anti-alias so the edge is sharp. What this does is makes it really easy to change colors if you want. So let's say you want to test with this for an option. Let's duplicate the base layer so you have two. So you could just go back. In case you do a mistake, you wouldn't ruin the original layer. I want to change the color of his robe here. Just choose a random color. You could do blue. The blue is a little bit too strong. Let's do right here. And let's turn on the continuous so it doesn't get filled with other areas that look the same. Give them a blue thing. And remember you have the detail layer as well. You can always duplicate that as well.